stream it.
Yeah.
So what is that?
This, well, this is the same like live streaming, but I think it's just the thing on the Mac. Like I can, when I keep the video here, I can see like you as a thin strip down here, but now I realized I can change it. I can make you all bigger.
Yeah.
I can keep this on.
Yeah. But what is live streaming?
Oh, the live that goes through YouTube. So it means I basically don't have to upload the video to YouTube, but it does it first as a private video. It goes on as a kind of private video.
I see.
So,
okay.
That's basically it. Oh, hello. Stop. Distraction. Okay, great. Go on, Papa. Great. お願いします。
お願いします。
Okay, very good. Wake up the body, the body. A little bit one-sided. Now join the spot. Center. The hips a little bit, rotation. Let the shoulders follow. Toes, let the heels straight and around. Touch with the fingers, with the force. Second body down. Good. Go to the wrists. And change. The elbows. Take it a little bit faster each time. Slow it down a little bit each time. Change. Faster each rotation. Roll out the shoulders. Up. Change. Back over the shoulder. Taking the chest out with the elbows. Back to the open out both arms. Spreading them away. And loosen up the arms, let them wrap gently onto the shoulders. Ooh, not so gentle. Right, let's go to the side of the body, just going to really lower. Reach the hand up. Back to the side. Back. One time each side. Side. Just keeping the hips stable, circling hip of body, head, chest. Change direction. Great. Good. Roll the hips. And change direction. Good. Let's go to the knees. Keep bouncing the leg, circling the knee. And change direction in the way. Good. And this side. the leg. Change. Just looking at the feet and the edges. You can work one and the other, or you can work both edges at the same time. Just hold it on the outside edge a bit. Just rolling heel to toe. Just gradually start to increase the distance you come up on the toes. Back onto the heel. Just until you kind of full extension at the top. Keep the knees flexible, soft. Just hold it at the top for a little bit. And down, settle the heel, just touch the big toe. So just kind of, oh, that one's not working. Touch the big toe and kind of pulse it. Oh, that big toe's not working. Okay. Just pulse it, touch it. See if you can do tap with one toe and then a tap with the other. Tap, 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 tap. Now it's working. Okay, good. There we go. And then just press them both down. Press them, press them, press them, press them, press them. Okay, raise the big toe. Keep the big toe off the ground. Just spread the other toes into the ground. The big toe raised. And then think about just spreading the toes away from each other like you're doing. So think about spreading the big toe away from the little toe. You want to widen the foot as much as you can. Like you're trying to break your shoe at the end, if you have shoes. Not that you have shoes. But yeah, if you have shoes, actually break them. Bam! Break the shoe. And release it. Just do a little bit for the hands, so just roll the wrist a little bit. Yeah. Next side. Just pulse in the fist. And then just the back of the grip, so the little finger and the ring finger. Just let the other fingers be kind of soft. They'll curl naturally with the hand, but just focus on the back grip. And focus on also the underside of the arm, the forearm. And try to really connect into the back also. So feel that you're settling very into the back of the body. Nice. And just kind of pulse in and out of it. And this idea is quite important, especially for working with that feeling of kind of splitting the grip, the ability to have kind of flexibility in the front two fingers and the thumb. And the back of the hand really strong, strong, strong. And then just hold that grip as if you kind of had the sword or the jug. Just hold it. Just play with keeping the thumb and the finger really kind of light while you squeeze. Just play with, just keep the rest of the hand mobile. This is kind of sealed. Just kind of move with it a little bit, move the arms a little bit, play with different positions. And just gently, so it's kind of pulse, so that you can think of, we'll obviously do Joe, can we Joe, but think about kind of sword positions, think about Joe positions, where the hands are kind of combining together. So you get that feeling where you've got tons of positions obviously with the Joe, but think about rolling, opening, that feeling that I can really seal the grip, seal the body into the strike behind it, and starts with that grip actually. And as you're doing it with the hands, take the focus also to the feet as well. As there's the feet going, just let them settle into the ground. Settle into the ground. Settle into the ground. So really, I want the feet to be kind of really relaxed, just receiving the legs and the torso. Not really clinging at all. And then the last week, just play with kind of fully opening and then fully closing the grip. Again, going to that weapon grip in a sense, that connected grip. But think about kind of opening, moving. You think about kind of zengo, or these kind of movements where we're really kind of opening and forcing the grip, just allow it to kind of come on. An exercise is really great for this. I'll share the video today because I've finished it. It's the, imagine someone's got a knife and they're trying to just threaten you with it. And I've basically got a grip which is going to control the knife on. Yeah, so the feeling here is also that the body can be flexible behind the grip. So the grip's strong and definitely not giving the grip up unless I have to. But I'm just going to kind of keep the body settled a bit. And it allows me the ability to control that arm and also be able to move when I need to. So it's that kind of feeling. It actually really comes from weapon work. So that skill is really, really useful for us. And then the last bit, in this case, this is really, again, it comes from working with a knife. Imagine you've got the person with the knife and they're also trying to change hands with it. So I've got the grip heavy on this hand. I need this hand also to be useful because I'm going to use it for strikes and all these kind of things. Think about also they switch hands, I need to also switch the grip. So you're going to kind of think about passing that grip from one hand to the other, basically. One hand to the other. One hand to the other. It's really what we do if you think about like 𝘱𝘰𝘪𝘩𝘦 when we make the change, or 𝘱𝘰𝘪𝘐 in this case. That kind of passing of the grip, of the control from one hand to the other. So again, all these kind of skills are really embedded within the stuff we do, but it's nice to kind of separate them sometimes to kind of focus on some of the skills because they tend to get lost in the form. Very nice. And then just really introduce a little bit of mobility to this. So play with kind of rotating movement and just moving with it. So keep that feeling that you're kind of passing the control from one hand to the other. You can do lots of things with this. Think about rolling, moving, passing. Now this is going to be a strong grip, but a really flexible, mobile body. That's a really very nice skill to have. That's great. Oh. Yes. Okie doke, perfect. Take Joe. We will just start with a little bit of catalog. So as a kind of lead into the 𝘭𝘵𝘢, it's also nice to do the 31 because actually the kind of all the forms in the 𝘭𝘵𝘢 are kind of built out of the 31 and later obviously the 31 𝘭𝘁kata. So a lot of the movements that we make when we do the 𝘭𝘵𝘢 are actually within the 31. So we all know it, so we'll just go straight into the 31. Just take it slow, step by step with it. Just nice control. Yeah. And again, just focus a little bit on that grit as you do it, sealing the grit and also mobilizing the body, keeping the contact. Roll through the kata. Great. Great. Okay. So just run through one more time, keep going. And we will next one. Nice. Good. Great. Okay. Great. Very nice. Okay, so this is actually a nice lead into to number one. So we'll start with the defending side. Let's get you to the attackers. We'll start with the defending side. So coming here, we'll just do the first, actually the original form in this, which was to come here, that block, and then come here and strike the head. Yeah, and go, and that's basically the finish. Will be the finish here. What you've got now in the form is where that blocks, and then you come around and you finish here. But we'll just practice a few just with the original form of this, the shorter form. Okay, one, into the block, and then releasing, striking the head with the yokomi. And that will be the end. There's 3 moves. So. Nice. Good. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Just watch one point with this. All that, well, if we can look at some variation at the end, pardon me, but they all rely on the ability to just move, right? So the body always comes up with solutions. So in this case, one of the solutions in the block is to do this: pull the foot back, and I go into that position, right? Which makes me really mobile because I can go straight into that strike. But it makes the block quite weak in a sense, and I'm very easy to topple. It's like being it's like standing on a small area of ground on a standing on a tightrope. Thank you. But it's like you don't be too wide. Just play with this, right? So you know, here, too wide, right? I'm really immobile. I'm strong, but I'm really immobile. Takes a lot of hip work now to release and find the strike. The other side of that is I'm kind of floating up. I'm right up on it. So there's no weight in the block. So the block's really ineffective in a sense. Now just play with it, but experiment with that. Like it's the 𝘠𝘰𝘬𝘪𝘩 rule basically. I don't want to be too wide. I don't want to be too narrow. I want to be just in the position where I'm strong but mobile. Yeah, it's that mix, and that's really like the Aikido Kamae in a sense. Is like strong, stable but mobile. That's also it's the kind of double-edged sword in a sense. But really experiment with it, because you can't copy anybody else with this, because I've got my own structure and my own legs of my own length, and it's a feeling where I feel stable, strong, and my ability to absorb the thrust. But the key thing is that mobility actually, and in solo work the feedback is whether I'm mobile or not, because we don't have that external pressure coming in. Mobility is the key. Nice, John. Yeah, good. Yes. Good. Yeah. Nice. Good. Yeah. Right. That's nice. Perfect. Nice. And again, you've also got a specific, again, a kind of skill. If you look at the kind of handwork in this, so think about this. You're really mobilizing the wrist in the block. So it goes into this. What I don't want to do in the block is like keep the wrist in this position and do this kind of thing, right? Where the wrist is not really involved, it's just kind of static. So think about rolling the wrist up as you go down. Now, the feeling in this is not as a block. I just watched a karate video. It was like someone beginning to learn karate, and they do the classic thing with the block, which is this. And the first time you do it, you get, gosh, God damn it, it's really painful. You know, but you watch a high-level karate person, and they're really receiving the block. It's not a block; it's a receiving, right? So it's a kind of rolling up. Now, this is the same. There's the same kind of. It's not that I block the jaw; it's that I catch underneath it, right? And I do that with it's actually coming from the wrist, right? That kind of motion. So you've got that kind of mobility, and then I release that hand to find the strike and find that strike. So you've got a lot of, in a way, again, it's a kind of skill. This idea of like flexible in the wrist, strong grip, and then mobile enough to be able to change and find the jaw in the other hand. And you're kind of trading the grip across the hands. That, and then that. So. Yes, yeah. Nice. Yeah, and the issue we looked at yesterday, this idea of like centering the cut or centering the strike on the body. In this case, it's a 𝘿𝘠𝘠𝗏, so it's quite easy in this case, and especially when there's a partner with this, to do this and then do something like that hand around them. So allow yourself, just give yourself time in this case. You find this, and then really feel that you actually bring the center line of the body into the jaw this way, and then that. So you find that, and then find the strike with it. So you can work this like a showman. You can work it is a 𝘿𝘠𝘠𝗏, but have that sense that it's actually the center line of the body that's applying the cut. And the body movement in this case is like straight through, because I've got the path forward onto the person. So I would be in this position, and my strike is actually this way, right? So I'm not going around to strike them. I'm actually underneath it, and then I'm going to just pass straight through and then strike into the side of the head. So it's like a straight line 𝘿𝘠𝘠𝗏 in this case, because I've already wedged off the line with the block. Yeah, that's great. That's it. That's nice. Good. Okay, we'll go to the last movement with it. Okay, do this in 2 steps. You're going to go like this. You've got 1, 2, 3. You're in that position. Now do this in 2. You're going to do this 4, and then 5. Roll it around for the strike. So the key thing with this is that ability to press the body and wedge off the line. Protect the elbow as you go. So you're not in this kind of position. Get the elbow, and then use the hip and the footwork to draw 2 seconds to strike. So you can either do that part or do the whole kata or the whole set. 2 will be 3. In this case, 4 and then 5. With the strike on the left side. So this is the basic form as we have it now. This is what the partner responding to the first 𝘿𝘠𝘠𝗏. That's that. That's nice. Yeah, good. That's great. we'll look at a few variations for this. Just the last movement. So the first one we'll do is really just an opening out of that last strike. So it becomes 1, 2, 3. Now you've got 4. I go into that same position, 4, and then you're going to curl the hip in. You're going to make a low strike this time. So I'm going to go for the knee. Yeah, so I'm going to go right down into the knee. So this means basically opening the hips out and letting the heel go into that position. Now just think of the angle that you're doing, which is really deep. You're coming right to the knee, and I want to basically connect into the knee this way. Boom, and collapse the leg basically. So either take the knee out or just collapse the leg away. Yeah. So this is variation using a low. It's kind of a low 𝘭𝘠𝘦𝘺, a low 𝘭𝘰𝘠𝘦 in a sense. Yokon doesn't make sense. It's a kind of 𝘭𝘰𝘠𝘦. It's a low 𝘭𝘰𝘠𝘦. So the knee. Yeah, so just what the easy thing to do now in this one is the easier thing is to lose my balance when I do it. So that's taken for granted with this one. Like this. So the body gets kind of winked out. Now think about as you go in, so you've got that position. This allows you to really find the ground here. This one. This is a tricky one in a way because the first one I just let the weight settle, just roll. I need a little bit more mobility as I go into this foot. I need to kind of allow the hip to also adjust into that position, and the foot needs to adjust with it to kind of bite into the strike. So the angle's a little bit deeper. We do this in the 𝘗𝑡𝑖-𝗠. If you're familiar with the 𝘗𝑡𝑖-𝗠, we do this in this strike, and then like this one, where you've got that kind of strike. In this case, this is a little bit more deeper. I'm coming around to the side a little bit more. Bernie, thank you very much. There we go. Okay, great. Yeah. So we'll do there's a few variations on this, and the logic is that they go up the body, back up the body. So the first one's for the leg. The next one we do is for the stomach, basically for the solar plexus. So in this case, it's a short jump. You go to 1, 2, 3, and then in this case, the assumption is that the person's blocked and they're kind of trying to disconnect me this way. But in this case, just find that position. Similar footwork in this case, but I don't let the 𝘭𝘰𝘠𝑦 move over the head. I just step in and I strike low with the body. So you're going to do now 1, 2, 3. Now do this in 2 steps also. 4, I'm in position, and then 5, I let the hip come in and kind of stomach. This is really for the solar plexus. So you actually don't need a lot of power in the strike if you connect. Go to right, especially if you're unarmed. The assumption is that we're unarmed, that we are unarmed. Right, in our weapon work, the assumption is that we are now unarmed. So it'd be a different strike if they were armed. Hopefully, I have a different weapon as well. Maybe a gun, right? Yeah. Hopefully, a spear, but maybe a gun's also good. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Daniel. Good morning. Okay.
Morning.
We're just looking at some kumija. We're doing so you're in the deep end. Go here. Wow. See.
Is this Bokken?
This is Joe.
Joe.
Joe, just for the sake of my ceiling. That's it. Nice. Yeah. Good. So this is the first computer starting 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5. Yeah. 7. Nice. Good. Yeah. So again, you've got a kind of interesting part of this where the feet are actually together, right? Very difficult to be balanced in that position. So again, that position is really for mobility if you think about it. So I come to here, I come to here, I come to here. Now, if I do the strike too wide, the body gets kind of, it doesn't make sense for the strike. So actually, I don't need a long base for the strike. So it's a 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I'm actually in this position. But the key to this position is the feeling like you're sitting on a high stool, basically. So the feelings that I'm actually sat down into the feet. It's very easy to do this and be kind of pulled out of the seat if you were sitting in a seat. So think that as you go into the form, you've got that. I find the hip and then I bring the hip down with the strike. So the arms go out as the body settles down. It's the same story. It's just a variation on what we always look for, basically. But it's a kind of awkward position because the feet are really close together. But I need this feeling like I'm sitting into the posture. Not so easy. Wow. That's it, John. Great. Nice. Good. Yeah. Great. Very nice. Oh. Okay. Great. Okay, we'll do one more. This variation goes now. We go up the body. We're going to go now for the arm. So you're gonna. This is a neutralization which would fall onto the arm. I would trap the arm, and I go for the throat with the tip of the jaw. I don't know if I've got this. I actually don't have this on. We don't have any film of this, but you have to trust me a little bit with this one. So this position, you're going to go same beginning. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the trick with this one, I'm going to use the back end of the jaw to protect them. I assume that the front end of my jaw is like a spear, right? So I don't want to use the front end. I'm going to draw the jaw through as I step out to the left. And then I'm going to use that back end now to roll the hip in and control onto the arm, onto the forearm. And it's to add weight into the forearm, collapse the arm onto the body, and then the tip of the butt end of the jaw goes towards the throat, and I basically pin onto the side of onto the neck. We do this is also a common movement in terms of kumijo. If you think about number 10 or these kind of moves, where you've got the trap on the arm, and I've also got the trap on the neck. So what you've got is basically control on the arm here, so they can't use the arm, and you're trapping the neck also, so that you can basically control them out and take them away. Yeah. So it's just from a little bit of a different position. So that the movement now is like this: 1, 2, 3, and then I change the arms. I change the foot down with the weight, and then the idea with this one is that I would come up towards the throat. And you got a choice. You can either go straight for the throat and skewer them with the tip or towards the teeth, or you can just control them nicer, right? Control them and take them out, right? Or take them out in a nice way, not in a really nice way. You're not taking them out for a meal, taking them out for taking them out of the door. Now I can't do the form. Okay, keep going. Yeah, with the spear, that's a good one. Yeah. Hey, Isabella. Hello, good morning. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, good. So this is a control neutralizing finish rather than a take the person's leg out or hit them in the head. Yeah, that's it, Catherine. Yeah. This is a really nice one because it fits into the attack and they really don't expect you to be going into this in this place. So this is really kind of classic. I really need to be mobile to be able to do it. And the hands need to be able to shift without thinking, basically. Yeah, good. Got it, good. Well, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Good. Great. And just, a couple of points with this. The main thing with all of these, but especially when you're neutralizing someone, is the ability to press weight through the jaw, right? Without weight, I have no control of the person. So you can hit without weight, basically, with the jaw. Right? I can just throw the jaw and boom, and it will damage them, right? But if my aim is to control them, I need the weight of my body being transmitted through the jaw, right? So neutralization is like an ultimate test of, can I press weight through the jaw, right? So that's the kind of the caveat for going to neutralization. Is I need to be pressing weight through. So what that means is you need to be in a position here as you go into this, do this split, but you go like one, and then really feel I got the ground again, and then the four in this move, I'm gonna really roll the hip in and press in the weight of the body. And I need the weight to be really like biting into the arm, because if I just like superficially hold them, they're actually free to move. So that the feeling needs to be like you're really pressing all the weight into it, but you do it nicely, right? So it's like doing it with a cushion. You do like, but I do it with intent, right? So it's bad thing said, but it's like smothering the person, right? And I'm smothering their ability to attack me again, right? But I need to have that feeling, which is like quite hard, but with a softness to it. The form's soft, but my intention is quite, then I'm going to really suppress them, right? So it's a kind of interesting area of the weapon work that we do. You've obviously got the intention not to kill, but to control, but it really needs to kind of bite into it. And then I can kind of roll out it. But again, it's that same stuff. We also like applying weight and staying mobile, all that kind of stuff comes into it. But in this case, especially neutralizations, they need real kind of intention to control with the weight of the body. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Great. Okay, good. So we'll take this to now. We didn't do the form in like Kinonagari, so we'll do it now. Do it slowly. Do the basic form. So we'll just work it in Kinonagari. Generally, the way I would teach the variations work is to start with the basic, do a Kihon, go into Kinonagari, work slow, and then the variations come out of the Kinonagari. Variations I always try and do in Kinonagari, right? Variations should generally, unless I'm learning them, and I shouldn't really be learning variations, I should just be doing them, feeling them. But they should really come from a Kinonagari form, because the problems that they solve are in Kinonagari work, not Kihon, because the Kihon form is what we've got already. So just bear that in mind as we do it. But go now into a Kinonagari form. So it's slow, but it's like this now. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it, just pulses in there. So do it slowly so that you can feel that kind of pulsing in the ground and the weight again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you've got, again, a kind of classic Kinonagari footwork now. We've got like a stable foot and you've got a flexible foot. And then generally the back leg. Just work with it now. Slow Kinonagari. Very good. Okay, and then the last few minutes, you can keep the Kihon form, you keep the basic form, or just explore the variations that we did. So the kind of logic of those is that the first one's for the leg, the first one's for the solar plexus, and then the third one is a control on the arm. So that they kind of work up the body in this case. You want to kind of logic for them, just one logic of it. But just see if you can find an Aikido. So this, that's the one that goes to the solar plexus. Whoosh. Okay. This one that goes for the leg. Move that feet. Okay. Oh, whoosh. And that goes for the arm. Whoosh. And
On the third variation, where you trap on the body,
yes.
then the final bit, is that the point coming up to the face, or is it the shaft that's taking the body down?
Yeah, you can do both actually. If you think about it, you've got that the threat in a way with that position is that, right? So I've got the ability to take the jaw into the throat, right? So it would go like and through, right?
Yeah.
The control in a way, or the kind of Aikido form where we're going to neutralize and control is to take that, the bottom end of the jaw and basically press it into the collarbone, basically, or onto the side of the head. That also gives you another option, which is to strangle the person, right? Right? So it's a nice one. I collapse instant, but I've also got the arm here, which I would basically use if the person really struggles with this. I just close the distance with the forearm and the jaw. So I trap and I cut the carotid arteries off her. So I use that as a trap. So you've got a choice. You can kind of take the jaw towards the throat. You can place it on the collarbone. If that's enough, that's fine. Right? Just control them. They give up. Or they want to continue, take the forearm and the jaw together, and you just choke them, pacify them. Yeah, totally pacify them. So the easiest way to neutralize someone, choke them. Hopefully they don't die, but this is it gives you the ability to do that in a sense. But that's the and the position is actually in a way where you can threaten towards the throat. Also, that's part of the appeal, part of the threat of the movement actually. Yeah. So, yeah, great. Yes, great. Okay. Okie dokie. And as you do it, my thing with this is it's quite difficult to play solo with these variations. But the main thing is just look at mobility, basically like where can I move and what would my strikes be. So, and then the test of all I was doing this on the seminar, and I told them like try to invent your own as well, because all the variations you see are always just going to be examples from somebody else, and there's stuff that works one time. No, I only need the technique to work one time. It doesn't matter whether it ever comes up again, right? But just the feeling is, well, the idea with the variations is you really should play with them, and the only thing of whether they're good or not is whether they work, not whether they look good or they they look like Aikido, but whether they actually work for what I want them to work for. Right? So that's the logic in this one. Yeah, how you can play with. Okie dokie. Great. If you've got any questions, let me know. We'll maybe continue this tomorrow. You can do this with all the �𝑗. Very interesting forms. But great. Domo arigato.
Domo arigato. Thank you.
Good. Very good.